Thanks. Munish, while you're talking about monies coming into startups, I wanted to particularly ask you for early stage businesses, if for the sake of our listeners, and you've been extremely successful on both sides. I mean, you are of course a multifamily office expert, but on the other side you have been successful in raising funds for your own uh, you know the recent business that you've launched. For early stage businesses, can you give 4 or 5 pitch hacks or pitch tips that the businesses must focus on, or get in place before they go and approach investors and family offices?
I think people should realize that when they're dealing with family offices, that they're very different set of investors from the institutions that they would have pitched to. Institutions, angel investors, in some cases seed investors, and you have now early stage investors through crowdfunding, through different channels like maybe say Safe Notes, which 100x uses. The approach to families have to be a bit more different. I think if I just share with people who are listening in that how different they are from institutions and how what mistakes not to do when you're pitching to families. I think one, realize the biggest difference, and the biggest difference is that they're managing their own money as compared to institutions. We are maybe managing, they are managing as GPs, maybe managing institutional money. Family offices manage their own money. They're answerable to only themselves or their families. So that gives a very different angle to what they are looking for when they are investing. So assuming that you are pitching to our institution, I don't say the institution will not take it seriously, but for family members, it's their own loss, their own game. They are not running that for for a management fee or maybe for raising funds later on in the market. It's their own hard-earned money, maybe built through a successful entrepreneur, first gen, second gen, who has built this capital for this space. So I think first differential, you should understand that they are the family's own office. So it's not just investments that they do. So don't assume that they'll have the same speed as which maybe a venture capital fund which approach you or deal with you, because they're solving other problems for that family as well. They may be solving issues about governance, succession, financial control, taxation, and a lot of other stuff. So remember that you're dealing with almost like a corporate. It's not just the one venture capital fund that you are dealing with. So I think that's two major mistakes that people make by understanding them. And are they so different from institutions? Some things are not different. They also want to do a proper diligence. They want quality deal flow coming on to them, which is very important for them. Uh, Till around 3-4 years back, to be very honest, the only deals which reached the family offices were the deals which were not so kindly taken up by venture capital firms and large investors. So if not being sold there, okay, let's show it to some family members. Till around 4-5 years back, that was the space. That was the way they were dealt with. But ultimately, do they also have a plan? They have a sort of a plan, but I think let's maybe understand that plan a bit more. And how are they different? As I said, their own money. Secondly, they don't have very established internal venture capital teams. They don't have an army of analysts. They don't have an army of principals. So bear with them.
Yeah.
There may be very few people doing a lot of work for that family. They'll have 10 more questions. They're very, very different hats. So make sure that you bear with them. It requires a lot of patience when you deal with family offices, because they're not just managing money, they're doing other things as well. And always remember that they just don't just work on pure numbers and a couple of ref check calls. It's a combination of multiple things they will look at. They look at internal DD, a diligence that that they'll do on the company. They'll do reference check. They'll informally talk to their ecosystem. Sometimes in social gatherings with other family owners, family business owners, they will sometimes reach out to domain experts. That we have this space in the artificial intelligence space. You are an expert there. Can you just take 5 minutes from you? And sometimes they will talk to VC guys, that we know that you also invest in this space. If you're not investing in this firm, why and why not just the VCs who are connected with that particular investment, but it's a multiple of factors which make them comfortable invest in that. In the institution space, it's a very guided process, that they'll have tick marks everywhere. Okay, this works, doesn't work, question mark, doesn't work. Then they may have a point system. They may have a system of election, or rather voting. That where the investment committee votes. There may be a veto with somebody. There may be an advisory angle to it as well by a separate team. whereas this is not the space which most family offices will have. Some of the very large ones, which I'm talking about, 2, 3, 4 billion dollars, yes, they have certain teams and they almost act like institutions. So there's not much of a difference. And take them seriously. Don't assume they are trust funds of rich brats which are out there in the market. That money has been earned with a lot of hard work, and give that respect. That don't assume that just because a 30-year-old is sitting in the lately a video call across the screen, don't take it lightly. He's
Mm,
done his homework. He would have done actually much more homework than some of the institutions might do before talking to you. So
mm,
take them seriously on. So sometimes, entrepreneurs come up to me in various ways and say, what, why should we even look for family offices? Why to take so much of patience? You're telling me be patient. They may not have a full-fledged process. They'll ask you at least more questions. It's their own money. So I tell them, look, first of all, you should realize you are a startup. You are a build a company long term. Yes, you will sell off after some time, but your company will not come in today, and every one of you will not be successfully exiting that in the next 3, 4, 5 years in maybe a Sunicorn, Unicorn, or whatever the case that you may call it. Remember that there are three forms of capital you can have as an entrepreneur. One is intellectual capital, then second part is relationship capital, and third is the financial capital. And the financial capital is the most easiest of the three to get, frankly. So getting an investor, yes, it's a trouble. You need to convince a lot of people. You'll be down, you'll be having bad days and good days, but that's the easiest one to get. The most difficult one to get is either intellectual capital, which talks about helping you solve your problems, maybe becoming your mentor in some spaces. Because do remember, all family offices are owned by family business owners in most cases, or serial entrepreneurs who done that and seen that in the past. They
mm,
can add a lot of value to you because ultimately they've been doing this for a much longer time than you have, and they've made it. So I think that's the intellectual capital. Relationship capital is brutally the most important part. The reason is they can open so many doors for you. They can open doors on symbiotic companies who can be your clients, they're your suppliers, your mentors in some cases. Sometimes getting you more rounds of capital, because if one family does it, chances are they talk about that. So this brings you in a very different ball game. Financial capital is only one part of them. And do remember, family offices are also called patient capital, because they don't have that 5 year, 4 year exit clause in their fund document. They can stay with you for much longer. They're not worried. They can stay with you with a much longer creation of wealth. In many cases, family offices actually exit in much better multiples and better IRRs than compared to funds, because funds have that limitation. Yes, funds can do a next round, using another fund from their bouquet of products. But the same investor, I think family offices give that thing a very important part. And I think they are the biggest referrals. Once you have a family office on your board, they can open so many doors on just pure referrals for investments and introductions there. And finally, I know some families who actually allow the startups to use help from their HR teams, from their finance teams, because ultimately they also feel they're helping an entrepreneur, and these family businesses or serial entrepreneurs were entrepreneurs themselves at one point of time. So they understand you much better. They are hands on. They are much more like line managers who are now becoming investors.